Right, let's talk Liverpool because they head to the City Ground on Sunday to take on Nottingham Forest in a game that could be crucial for their chances of Champions League qualification. Arne Slot has been very critical of the approach taken by some of the teams that are playing the reigning champions this season, but he appeared to clarify those comments earlier today. Have a listen.
It will never be about us if a game is entertaining, yes or no. That is at least my take. We always try to press, we always try to bring the ball out from the back, we always want to entertain. That doesn't always, we don't always succeed in that. And if we don't, sometimes it's about us, because we just don't execute things well enough. But it's mainly because the teams we are facing don't want an entertaining game, which is completely fair. I'm not debating that or arguing that. I would probably do the same if I have to play Liverpool.
Right, let's bring in Liverpool fan Montel. Montel, good to see you. I know you've been very critical, haven't you, of Arne Slot, particularly since, the 6th of February, after the Salah Gate incident at Ellen Road. When you listen to him there, 6th of December, I should say, when you listen to Slot there explaining his comments about how teams approach playing the champions, what do you make of that?
Excuses. Again, there's just excuses. I just feel like he's gaslighting us. He's just gaslighting the fans at this point. It's just, I don't know what more to say, because I'm pretty sure under Jurgen Klopp, things were exciting and we were, challenging, doing everything else. I never heard, the lower blocks are going to dictate how a team is going to, it was always an entertaining game, even if we were playing low blocks, which we did many a time, especially in 18-19, and, especially a lot of the times where we were battling City for the league. So I don't feel like every game obviously has to be entertaining or end-to-end or a basketball game or crazy, or even just, I'm talking more the football aspect. And I think maybe he might be alluding to that as well, like the exciting football aspect. But the style of football we play is down to us, whether it's a low block or whether we're playing a team who's actually coming out and actually playing us head-to-head. And I think it's more of the side-to-side football, unpenetrative, everything to feet, not really much going in behind, the same diag to Salah, from Verge to Salah that we've seen for 8-9 years. And as I said, Salah, Verge, they're in the dirty 30s. So it's okay for that to slow down. It's all right. No one really escapes age, maybe unless you're Cristiano Ronaldo, but even he's getting on a little bit now. So I just feel like it's not, the entertainment factor is never down to us.
But I remember when Klopp was obviously champion and stuff like that. I remember teams sitting in with a low block and him being frustrated. I get the point. There is a slight difference between Klopp and Slot's teams. Klopp was a little bit more direct, like to go back to front a lot more than Slot does. But I do think he's got a point, and I agree with him. What he's saying about playing against teams with a low block, you have to. But the flip side to that is as well, the onus is on you as being champions, as being top clubs. It's only what the other teams are going up against. You do have to break them down. But is there not quite a lot of that to do with the players' performances? Not just looking at Slot. I'm looking at the performances from the players who are the champions as well from last year, and go, where has their levels gone? Where has the players' levels gone?
I agree. There's definitely a responsibility on the players. I think they've let themselves down numerous of times this season. But I think when so many players at once are underperforming, and it's not just maybe one or two, that is why I feel like the managers at fault. Because when you look at, I see the same attacking patterns every game pretty much. We don't really see overlaps for Liverpool. Remember Andy Robertson, always on that overlap, up and down in his pump. You don't really see that anymore. You see it sometimes, but it's very much an underlap. It's very much the same passing patterns. I could almost predict where we're going to pass the ball. And if I, as a fan, can predict where we're going to play the ball, even though it needs to be done faster for it to be effective anyways, then I'm pretty sure with all the facilities that the opposing teams have and all the footage they have, then they can see it too. And that's probably why we are where we are. We've just seen Arsenal. Sorry, no, go on.
No, Monty, I was just going to put this last one to you because we've got to get a Forest fan on as well. But on the subject, and you said overlap, and my brain suddenly went, actually to a quote from the overlap from Wayne Rooney, saying that Liverpool boss Arne Slot doesn't have the aura of someone in that position. And I know you agree with that, but is qualifying for the Champions League enough to keep him in a job for next season? Because right now, Liverpool, 2 points behind Jody Morris's Chelsea. You still play Chelsea, you still play Manchester United, you still play Aston Villa. So you could argue that's in your hands as well to get into the top 4-5 places, because fifth is going to be Champions League. So Champions League, stays, Slot?
Impossible. How do we even get here? 5th place and he stays. If he wins the Champions League, he can stay. And even then, he's on the pay-as-you-go contract, like back in the day. That's what it's going to be on. Rooney was right on that one so far for me. You know what I'm saying? We should be competing at the top with Manchester City and Arsenal. They're their job. They're competing for who's going to drop more points.
I get it, but do you not give him any equity? Is the fact that he's a Premier League champion, he came in and won the league in his first season, does he not get anything? I get it if he don't finish in the top Champions League places. I get it, but does he not get another shot in another pop at the league if he gets Champions League football?
All he will be doing is putting out a fire that he started. And yes, and that's all it is. That's all it is. I'm sorry, but if you not qualifying for Champions League, I cannot even the thought of that, the embarrassment.
Yeah, but if you do qualify,
no, but if we do qualify, that's basics. This is like it's the basics. Liverpool should be with the money we've spent qualifying for the Champions, especially with 5 places. It's not even top 4, guys. It's not even just top 4 anymore. It's top 5. There's more spaces. It's mathematically easier to finish in the top 5. So for me, I'm not gonna give him another chance. For me, prevention is better than cure.
Let's leave it there, Montel.
That's what I'm about. So
It's a good quote to finish on. Montel, good to see you. Right, next, of course, for Liverpool, Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. Vitor Pereira says that Forest need just one spark, he says, to reignite their season as he prepares for his first game in charge of the club after succeeding Sean Dyche. They face Fenerbahce in the Europa League, and in Turkey is Forest fan Kate Mines. Kate, good morning to you. How confident are you then ahead of Pereira's first game in charge, and is he the right man to steer you towards safety and towards deep in the competition when it comes to the Europa League?
Is he the right man? Well, we've had enough to choose from, haven't we? So let's hope that this one is the one that stays.
Yeah, and actually it's a record, isn't it, Kate, when you say that, because it's the first time in Premier League history that a side has had 4 permanent managers in one campaign.
Yeah, well, we do like to break some records. You know, that's what we're all about. I do think I'm feeling more confident in the Europa League than I was, certainly about this game, than I was under Dyche. You know, it's yet another new era. It's yet another reset point. So, you know, we've got to take a little bit of confidence from that, I think.
Do you think, and we've been asking this question, Europa League, help or hindrance? I mean, you look at Tottenham last season and how that story ended in the Europa League, and of course they were well clear. I know that not in terms of places, but certainly in terms of points above Leicester from dropping down to the Championship. What would you prefer as a Forest fan? What do you think Pereira would prefer? More games or just the Prem to focus on?
I think any new manager needs games. They need games to implement what they're trying to do. You know, he's already spoken in his interviews about needing a buy-in from the players.